All right, we are joined now by University of Texas players and head coach Vic Schaefer. Congratulations, ladies and coach, on the victory this evening. Coach, we're going to start with opening remark from you, please.
Well, first of all, I just want to really congratulate Fairfield. I thought they were spectacular today, especially in the second half. I thought those kids were really tough. I thought Coach, I want to wish him the best in his retirement. It's my understanding he's retiring, but, man, I just thought those kids were great today and really played well, played hard. After the initial shock of, obviously, in the first half, they came out and outscored us 8 in the third quarter, outscored us in the second half. And you really have to, you have to admire kids like that. I mean, that shows tremendous toughness, competitive spirit, and that's why they're champions, right? They won their league. They won their league tournament. They're champions. Those kids are champions. There's kids on that team, y'all, that are so competitive and so tough. They're going to be successful in life. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know what their degrees are, but, man, they're going to be winners. And I just have a real respect and admiration for them. And, I'm happy about the win. I don't think, we played particularly well. I wear that. It's my responsibility to make sure our kids play well and do things the right way. And I just thought we were really we just weren't real good today. And, again, my responsibility, right? It's my job to get them ready. We kind of played like in the second half, kind of like we've practiced for 3 days. And, y'all have heard me say this before. You're either coaching it or allowing it. And we haven't been very good. And I didn't think the second half we were very sharp at all. And, again, I'm happy for these kids, to get that first NCAA tournament win. But, they know I'm a realist, and I think you have to be real in every situation. I'm happy for them. I want them to, be excited about it. But, what's coming on Sunday, you're going to have to be a whole lot better and a whole lot different. And it was kind of my concern, y'all. We spent a lot of energy, a lot of emotional energy as well as physical energy over the weekend. When you beat number 10 in the country in front of their fans, probably 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 of them, and then you have to come back and play the number 4 team in the country that, they hadn't had a lot of success around here with, and these kids did it. It really, it taxes you. And I was concerned about today from that standpoint, and I think it showed, and my challenge now is I got to get them ready. I got to find a way to get these kids ready for a tremendous team on Sunday, a well-coached team, a team that has a great plan, and really, to me, was awfully focused. They jumped out today, 10-0, 12-0. I mean, they came ready to play, right? And so I've got to do a better job. But I didn't even. Rory just pointed out we had Amo had a double-double down there with 18 and 10, and Rory did too. She had 11 assists and 10 points. She knows I ain't happy about that 2 for 7 with her free throws, which is highly unusual with her. But in any case, we'll take it. But we've got to fix some things, and we don't have a whole lot of time to do it. And a lot of it has to do with just the non-negotiables for us. The non-negotiables are playing hard, playing smart, playing together, knowing the scout. I mean, just those are kind of the things that we've really done a great job with all year. And, again, like I told Coach, I think his kids had a lot to do with why we looked the way we did today. At the same time, what we didn't do well, I'll wear the brunt of that responsibility.
Thank you, Coach. We'll turn the questions now to our student athletes, and we'll start in the second row over here, please. Danielle Lerner from Houston Chronicle.
Rory, Coach was telling us that he always has you guys write down pros and cons for yourselves. So what would you say your pros and cons were tonight for your individual play?
Definitely my free throws. I was 2 for 7. It's just a lack of focus. That'll definitely change for the next game. And then I think I fouled, a little bit too much unnecessarily, and I can work on that as well. And I did have 2 turnovers, but I mean that can always be fixed. And I think one of them were unforced. So.
No pros?
Oh yeah, pros. I did have 11 assists, which is pretty good, and 10 points. I got to the basket early. Just needed to make my free throws after that, so that's about it.
last couple minutes of the game, you were on the bench and Aaliyah was shooting free throws, and you called Joe over to the sideline. What were you saying to her?
I mean, running the point guard a lot, with 30+ minutes a game, I can see a lot of things. And when I finally get on the bench, I finally can see like from the bench point of view. So I just noticed something that she can maybe look for in the game. So yeah.
Our next question is going to come from Danny Davis from the Austin American-Statesman.
This is for Rory and Aaliyah. Last year when Texas was going on to the Elite Eight, how did you two take in those games? Were you watching on TV? Did you sneak away to any of the games? And what does it mean to kind of be part of that now a year later?
I definitely watched when they played UCLA and Maryland. I was going crazy in my living room with my mom. But it was just another reason for me to want to come here, just to see them be able to win when a lot of people did not believe they could. And I believe we can do it again this year, so I'm excited.
And I just love how they played. They played so hard. I mean, you have people talking about Maryland's going to hang 100 on them, and what happened? So that's just unbelievable to me.
Then Aaliyah, you've had a year from the injury to coming back, working your way back. I mean, can you kind of speak to what this past couple months have been since you came back in the Tech game and to tonight?
It's definitely been a lot of learning, lots of ups and downs my freshman year, but I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I've definitely learned that you can learn a lot from the sideline, even while you're not out there playing, to pay attention to scout, and just to be the biggest cheerleader for my teammates, because at the end of the day, all I want is the win, whether I'm out there or not. But yeah, definitely just thanking God, though, that I was able to come back from the injury, and just taking it day by day and being ready whenever my name's called.
Next question will be coming from Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman.
Rory, did y'all seem a little bit off to you tonight? And do you feel like maybe the team relaxed when you got up by like 22 points?
I would definitely say, like, within the team, like, I can see everybody's eyes in the huddle. Like, they really were trying to focus, but we just, like Coach Schaefer had said, I don't think we were completely 100% into it in practice. So when the game comes, like, it's going to be a little more difficult. But yeah, I mean, we weren't ourselves today, but it's gonna change.
What's the deal with 2 turnovers? Are you just trying to show you're human or what?
I mean, I just didn't like the 2 turnovers. They were turnovers that I shouldn't have made. I know I can't be perfect, but I'm really trying to get better at my position.
Next question will be here in the front row. Just identify yourself and your affiliation, please.
Tyler Feldman with KView. This is for Aaliyah. Aaliyah, so you were watching with your mom in your living room last year. This year, career high 18 points tonight, 10 rebounds. So that transformation from last year to this year, excitement level, just having that much of an impact in your first tournament game.
I mean, very excited, just to see that this is the first round, and just to see how far I can go and my team can go. But I'm just really excited. Like Coach said, this wasn't the greatest game tonight. We didn't play very well. But at the end of the day, like my other coach said, it's survive and advance. So we move on to the next one, and we just get ready and be prepared for the next opponent.
And then Audrey, maybe not the most consistent 40 minutes, but from your vantage point, maybe what can you and your teammates learn from a game like this early on in this tournament?
I think we can learn that it starts in practice, and we didn't practice well. We basically practiced like the way we played today for the last 3 days, and I think we can just focus more on the little things, not even think about taking teams for granted, because everybody's in this tournament for a reason right now. So just focusing on the little things early is what we need to work on.
Chip Brown of Horns247.com for Rory and Audrey. This is the second game in a row where Aaliyah's come in and been really efficient, and the inside game took over for y'all. Can you just talk about what you're seeing from Amo right now?
She's just like she already said. She's just ready when her name is called. I mean, she's just, I don't even know. She's doing so good. Like, I told her right after the game, I was like, you're really killing the game. Like, they almost had to put 3 on her. Couldn't even box her out. Couldn't even stop her from putting the ball back up. But, And I hope she continues, which she definitely will, and I have a whole bunch of confidence in her.
Yeah, I would piggyback off that again. You know, it started in practice. She's working her tail off in practice. She's willing to learn from the coaches and the upperclassmen. And I think she just brings everything she has to every game.
And a reminder before we go to the folks in the virtual environment, if you do have a question, make sure you please use the raised hand function so we can call on you. We've got a few more minutes left with questions for our players, and then we'll turn to questions for Coach Schaefer. Sir.
Hi, Terry Middleton from Horns Illustrated. Audrey, if your team didn't play at the level they normally play, and you scored 70 points and held them to 52, what does it look like for you guys to be on your game? I mean, and what would the team need to change to improve?
Yeah, I think we need to change turnovers and lackadaisical plays. We're taking too many plays off, and I don't think our defense was at our standard today. So just getting back to that, because honestly, that's what's gotten us here is the way we play defense for 40 minutes. But yeah, that's what I would say.
And Rory, what was it like to guard 22 Hakes? She was pretty dominant.
I mean, I just have to put pressure on the ball. I mean, it's going to help everybody behind me, to help Joe with guarding 11, Audrey guarding 11 as well. Some Amo and Tosh maybe guarding 30. I mean, we try to limit to her, and we did a little bit, forced 9 turnovers, so that was pretty good. So I think it was just it's hard to have on-ball steals when you turn your back and stuff. So just making sure I stay right there with her is just all I could do.
Do we have any other questions for any of the student athletes? All right, back to Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman.
Audrey, do you feel like the zone bothered y'all as much as they played? Did it? I don't know how much zone y'all saw this year, but do you feel like that was part of the problem?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think they played a well zone, and their pressure was a little something different we've seen from a zone. I don't think we were really finding the open people early, and it took us a while to get in the groove of things for their zone.
Are there any other questions? If not, Audrey, Aaliyah, Rory, thank you so much for your time, and best to you on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to open it up for questions for Coach. Our first question will come back to Chip Brown.
Vic, when you look at what Amo's doing, and again, you guys pounded it inside to pull away, can you just talk about that ability? It's kind of the same thing you did against Iowa State.
Yeah, I thought her and Latasha were really special today. I've said this all year. Tasha's really going to be special, and I thought those two in the first half really provided a big spark for us. I wasn't thrilled with how we started out with our other 2 post players, and I thought our freshmen came in and played really hard and played really well. Tasha went 2 for 7. Boy, she got some good looks, and she just played really hard. Made some mistakes, but again, I thought those 2 were the difference when we kind of extended our lead in the first half. But Amo plays hard. I mean, it's the reason why she was the 6th-ranked kid in the country, right? And I love her motor. I love her intensity. I love her no fear. She's coming off of going up against one of the best players in the country in Alyssa Smith, and she held her own. She had 12 points in that game and 6 rebounds, I think, 5 or 6 rebounds, and the kid just plays her guts out, and you have to appreciate that. So, it's good that we needed her tonight, obviously. She had a double-double, goes 4 for 7, 10 for 10 from the line. We didn't shoot free throws well tonight, which has kind of been uncharacteristic. We've been shooting them pretty well, but, Leah's playing better, and, you hate that she went through the injury because it set her back.
And just a quick follow-up, Utah, they hit 15 of 31 threes. What do you know about them? Obviously, you got a quick turnaround.
Yeah, they like to shoot the three. Man, they're well coached. Kids play really hard. I think they're tough from what I saw, tonight and what I've seen on film. They come from a Power 5 conference and a Pac-12, and I just think we're going to have to play better, y'all. That's all there is to it. I've done this long enough, y'all. You can't, you're not doing anybody any justice to sugarcoat things. And, if we want to win on Sunday, we're going to have to be different. But I thought Utah looked really good. I thought they came ready to play. They got Arkansas early, and that's kind of where the game stayed for the longest time. And you got to be ready with them, and you cannot make a mistake defensively. And you have to really be locked in with them because they can all shoot it.
Next question.
For a lot of the game, you had Matharu on Hakes, and it seemed like she was bothering her a lot, especially at the end of the game, just really getting up on her. What did you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I thought she did a nice job on her late. Again, you wear on somebody throughout the course of the game, and I thought Aaliyah was pretty effective on her late in the ball game. And that kid's tough. She might have had 9 turnovers, but that kid's really competitive, and it ain't easy living out there with Rory and Aaliyah on you for 40 minutes. That ain't much fun, I'm sure. So, teams don't see our pressure a lot, and I didn't think our pressure was that good, but even then, our mediocre pressure is a lot better than a lot of other people's pressure. So, you got to give that kid a lot of credit. I thought she just competed all night long and ran her team, and that's what you want a point guard to do. So, but I thought Aaliyah did a nice job down the stretch there. Got an offensive foul on her. Had 3 steals, I think, tonight. Aaliyah did. So.
And then with Rory, this is the second game this season, I believe, that she had double-figure assists. What allowed her to do that tonight? Well,
some people finish some shots. You don't get an assist unless somebody can make a shot for you. Her 2 turnovers to me were unforced and kind of lackadaisical. Just just the way it is. But again, I think all our kids learned tonight a little bit, and we're so young. I mean, we're still the same young, inexperienced, immature team, y'all. We might have gone through, I don't know how many games we've played in, but it doesn't change our, it's kind of still who we are, and, it can raise its ugly head a little bit. And again, what we just went through, I mean, we had 3 knockdown dragouts in our conference. I mean, our conference is so good, night in and night out. You got 18 rival games, and we went back to back to back within 40 hours with 3 knockdown dragouts and played an All-American every night. Every night there was an All-American on the floor that we had to deal with. And so I think I saw it coming. I'm glad we got through it. I'm hoping like heck we can wake up tomorrow morning and come in and have a good workout and get ready for a heck of a Utah team.
We've got time for a few more questions. We'll start right here, please. Identify yourself.
Terry Middleton from Horns Illustrated. Coach, you say that your pressure was not that good tonight, and yet you forced 22. You had 22 forced turnovers.
Yeah, we fouled. They went to the line 23 times. Like, we're whacking them and fouling them a long way from the rim. And, we got backdoored a bunch. We gave up a back screen for a dunk. I mean, we just really uncharacteristic. But, again, that's you get out there and you're kind of, I mean, we had a nice crowd, and I know the kids were excited about that. And you kind of got to stay in the moment. You got to have tunnel vision. And it's hard we've been much better on the road, Terry. I've told you all that. We've had a lot better focus on the road. People screaming at us instead of for us. But, it ain't going to change Sunday. There are going to be a lot of people screaming for us. So we're going to have to figure out a way. I got to do better. I mean, I'll take the blame. I mean, we're a young team, and I got to continue to get them ready.
Vic, when you signed this class, did you figure these freshmen would be contributing this quickly? Not just Rory and Amo, but Latasha, Kendall. I think it's maybe been one of the first times you're able to play that 4 freshmen and Aaliyah lineup.
Yeah.
Did you think they'd be contributing this quickly?
I did. I thought they would all be able to help us. It was certainly my hope. You know, Tasha came with a knee that hadn't been rehabbed properly, and so we had to kind of give her a crash course with her surgically repaired knee. She didn't have a knee brace when she got here, and she had the surgery back in December a year ago, right? So she gets here in August and doesn't own a brace. So, you know, it took a while to get her going, and she's had some really big games for us, but I think we all feel great about, you know, her potential and where she's at. But I felt like all these kids, you know, Kendall's had some injuries, some ankle injuries and issues, and that set her back earlier in the year. But I really was hopeful. I mean, it was a highly ranked class, right? And I was certainly hopeful because that's, you know, that's our future. And so Amo's injury, I told y'all the other day, it was much more significant than just a rolled up ankle. And it just took a long time. And there were some other things that happen when you've got an injury like that you have to try to overcome too. So, you know, I think you're seeing from her, you know, what the kid's capable of, and we could have got all year had it not been for the injury.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Vic, you said the practices leading up after a very tumultuous Big 12 championship tournament weren't the greatest. Do you think this game was enough to be enough of a wake-up call for a better Utah team, or do you think there's something specific in practice ahead of that Utah game that needs to change? Because you said practice.
No, I think it's been said. I just think kids are kids, and you know, we've watched film on Fairfield till we're blue in the face. Like I told them today, I'm sick of watching film. Like I know them like the back of my hand, and I know our kids did too. You know, let's face it, their best player sat out a lot in the first half, and when she came back in the second half, she was a big difference for them. And I just think, you know, it's kids. You know, I'm ready, my staff's ready, but we're not playing, right? And I just think it's kids, and again, my job's to get them ready. And you know, we played in spurts the first half. We played pretty well, but the way we came out in the third quarter, after we've been the ones coming out in the third quarter and really answering, it was just disappointing. And I had my best defensive team on the floor, really. I mean, pretty close. And boy, we gave up some easy buckets, some back doors, some back screen stuff, wide open jump shots to the best player in the gym. You know, it just, and again, I think you got to give Fairfield credit though. Those kids at halftime, they regrouped, came out, had an edge to them, and they're competitors. They're champions. They won their league. They've had a heck of a year. That's just the second game they've lost since December 9th. So, you know, I got a feeling my kids will be razor sharp tomorrow. I do. I think they'll have an edge. I'm anxious to see them.
Our final question will come from Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman.
You mentioned practice. I wonder how much of that's mental focus when you're playing a 15 seed at home. You're not playing Baylor for the Big 12 tournament, which you know gets everybody charged up. Was that a part of the reason maybe it wasn't your A game?
And Kirk, I don't know. I just, you know, it's kids. I mean, they're smart, right? It isn't Baylor. You said it. You know, and no disrespect to Fairfield, because I have a ton of respect for them. I know how good they are. I know that doggone kid can flat out fill it up if you lose her. And we lost her, and she filled it up. And, you know, I just think they have a team full of competitive kids. And, you know, I knew they'd come in here with their hair on fire and their ears pinned back and ready to go and play fearless. And, you know, we got them a little bit early. First quarter wasn't great, 14-9, but 25-9 in the second quarter, you know, had a little separation there. And so I was really pleased with that second quarter. You know, it's just that third quarter that's got a little stench to it, 23-15, and, you know, you kind of let them back. I think they cut it to 10, you know, in the second half. And you know, I'm proud of the way we answered and got away from them in the second half, in the fourth quarter. But the answer to your question, Kirk, is that they're kids, and you know, sometimes like you said, you have a better chance of getting their attention when it's number 4 or number 10. And, but to me, that's me. I gotta make sure I get their attention. Maybe I showed too much film, Maybe they looked at it and kept looking at it and going, hey, okay, we got that. We can guard that. We can do this. We can do that. Maybe I showed them way too much film. I showed them enough. I promise you. We looked at it every day, and so in any case, we'll be fine. I'm excited about the opportunity for these kids on Sunday, and again, I really want to thank our fans. Thought we had a nice crowd today. They were loud, and they did a good job, and I need them back on Sunday. Does anybody know what time we play Sunday?
Not yet, Coach, not yet. It'll be determined after tonight's games.
Yeah, so,
All right, thank you so much, Coach Schaefer, for your time. Best of luck in Sunday's second round.
thank you. Praise
As Fairfield players and coach come to the podium, just a reminder, if you are on the virtual site, if you do have a question, please use the raised hand function. All right, I just want to welcome everyone back to our second press conference, the final press conference of the evening, when we welcome Fairfield University head coach Joe Frager, student athlete, senior forward Lou Lopez-Senechal, and graduate guard Rachel Hakes. Coach, if you could make an opening statement, please.
Sure. Thank you very much. Obviously, congratulations to Texas, Coach Schaefer and his staff. They've got a heck of a team, and we knew that they would get after things defensively, and that's exactly what they did tonight. And I just think they just kind of wore us down a little bit there in the fourth quarter. But I hope they have a great tournament. Everyone here at Texas has treated us just so well at the university, and everyone associated with this. It's been a great experience for us. I'm just so proud of these two that are sitting here to my right and our entire program. Zero quit in these women. And I think that they really represented the university as they have all season long, and just did a fabulous job. We knew at halftime we weren't going to go away. That's not in the DNA of this team. We knew we were going to fight back, and I think we got it down to 10 there late in the third. We thought we could make a dent early there in the fourth quarter, but I believe their size just sort of started to wear on us inside. But just so proud of these women and the season that they put together. So, yeah.
Thank you. And we will start with questions for our student athletes, and we'll start with Danielle Lerner over here for Houston Chronicle, please. And then the next question will go to Mark Rosner, Austin American-Statesman.
Rachel and Lou, can you guys just describe what your emotions are right now and what they were in the locker room immediately following?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a raw moment. You never want something so good to come to an end. We shared a lot of words as a team, just how proud we are of the season that we've had. I got a little emotional when I fouled out. That was a tough moment just coming off the court, knowing that this was the last time with the staff that we have here. Who knows what the future holds, but yeah, it was an emotional moment.
Yeah, definitely emotional. I'm I mean, I'm always an emotional person no matter what, but definitely more emotional after this game. But, you know, it's obviously sad to lose, but I think it was reflecting of the whole season. We were able to be very proud of ourselves, and that's what I told the team after we went to the locker. And it's also just a mix of, you know, being sad that it's over, but also being happy that it happened and that we were able to come here in the March Madness tournament.
Lou, what exactly happened to you in the end of the first quarter? And have you decided or have you thought about whether you were going to come back for another season?
So I think I got elbow when I tried to help at the end of the first quarter. I forgot who it was. I'm not very sure, but I think it was an elbow on my lip. But just got a few stitches and was able to come back. So I was all good. But about next year, I think it's very soon to have an answer. I'm not 100% sure. I think I have a lot of options and pros and cons to think about. But I will for sure make a decision in the next few weeks.
Next question, Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman.
Yeah, Rachel, I mean, she had to sit the whole second quarter. What effect did that have on the game? And did you feel like y'all kind of shook them when y'all, you know, got them to 10 late in the third quarter?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, I'm always looking for Lou when she's on the floor. We played with a little bit of a different lineup. When she's off the floor, then I moved to an off guard. And I had gone up to the coach and just said, I want the ball in my hands. So he was putting us in some positions where I was getting to pass the ball as an off guard still. Obviously, we miss her presence whenever she's off the floor. We definitely fought. They were just killing us on the boards in the second quarter. And then when we cut the lead in the third quarter, I mean, we're fighters. We knew we were going to come out in the second half. And, I mean, we were just talking about it in the hallway. We ran a play for Lou, and we were trying to get her into her mid-range jumper, but, I mean, she was open for the three, and she just nailed it coming out at halftime. So I think that gave us a lot of momentum. We were executing really well coming out in the third quarter. We just weren't getting all the stops that we needed to. But we were really happy to cut it to 10. And, you know, if a few other things could have gone our way, maybe we could have cut it even further. Do I think Texas got nervous? I mean, if I were them, I would have been a little nervous. But, I mean, they're a seasoned team, and I think they respected us. They knew that we would come on a run at some point. I mean, Coach Schaefer had a lot of kind words to say to both Chica and I, or we call her Chica, Lou and I, in the hallway, and after the game, he was talking to us. But I mean, I think they're a very confident team in what they're doing, and we have a lot of respect for what they did on the floor, and we just knew that we were going to come and compete until the final whistle.
Any other questions? Okay, go ahead.
Rachel, your level of play was elite, just like the Texas team playing elite as well. Can you share how was it to be guarded by Rory and play against her? Was it hard, fun, competitive? What?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a pretty good battle going there for a little while. She's an outstanding player, just like a great on-the-ball defender. I mean, she's been recognized in the Big 12 for doing just that, being all-defensive team and freshman of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So I was just excited for the opportunity, really, to go out there and compete tonight. And we really went tail to tail all the way down the court. And I was just trying to be the best point guard I could for my team, and she was doing the same. And I think we lost it a little bit there at the end. I lost it a little bit there at the end, just trying to make some things happen. I turned it over a few more times than I would have liked, but I mean, I think I did a really good job just really going toe-to-toe with one of the nation's best defenders.
Any other questions? If not, we're going to dismiss both Rachel and Lou, and thank you for joining us. Congratulations again, ladies, on all your successes this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. As always.
Now we'll turn the questions over to Coach, and we'll start with Mark Rosner.
Coach, last game, how do you feel about it? And does it kind of feel like unfair that you had to go through a whole quarter without your best player like that?
That's actually the second time that's happened to us this year, where she got injured in a game and went down. One of our Niagara games earlier this season, she took a shot to the head. And so, yeah, it's not fun. You know, she's definitely a security blanket, if you will, for me during the game. I know that if I call her number, we've got a really good chance of scoring or getting a really good look at the basket. As far as this being the last game, I still haven't really processed that yet, to be totally honest. This was just a great experience coaching these women, and a season to remember. And, you know, to get a chance to be here in Austin and play against Texas on their home floor with a great crowd. And it's just something I think that we thought was fitting for us. I told them before the game, you earned this, you belong here. Go out and show what you're about. Go out and compete as hard as you possibly can. And that's exactly what they did.
Next question will come from Danny Davis, also of the Austin American-Statesman.
Joe, we had talked to you about Laura Nebo and Rory Harmon yesterday, but I'm kind of wondering what you thought of Leah Moore and what she gave them off the bench, obviously 18 and 10, but, you know, overall your thoughts on her performance.
Yeah, I thought she was outstanding. You know, when I say I think, you know, we sort of wore down a little bit there toward the end, she was a big part of that. You know, 10 for 10 at the foul line and just did a great job on the boards for them. Yeah, she really stepped up, and they're a tough team. They're a tough team at a lot of different positions, and you know, I thought Rory was outstanding on the ball. You know, I also thought that Aaliyah did a great job on the ball too, as an on-ball defender for him too. But yeah, I thought Moore was outstanding, and I really thought that, like I said, when we cut it to 10, we thought we could make a dent, but I just think our guys wore down a little bit, and I think their size was really telling toward the end of the game.
Next question from Mark Rosner, AP.
Yeah, Joe, when you say cut it to 10, I think there were like 7 minutes left.
Yep.
And then Mathara was wide open for that three. Was that because you're so concerned about their size and in the lane?
Yeah, that definitely contributed to it. I know it was, from our perspective, it was a blown slide in our zone. But I understand why we were a little bit late getting out there, because they were doing a nice job getting the ball in the high post. They were trying to go high-low on us quite a bit. And I think Lou Lopez dropped down to protect against that, and she was a little bit slow coming out, and she even acknowledged it right away. And that was one of our keys in the zone, that we had to know where number 2 was all the time. And that was a huge basket. You know, that pushed that back up to 13 at that point.
We have time for a few more questions. We'll start right here with Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman.
Yeah, Joe, congratulations on the season, first of all. The zone, do you think it gave them many problems today? Because they just never really seemed in that offensive rhythm. Yeah. And I was curious how you played them. Did it match the scouting report you had on them before you got here?
Well, I think in stretches of the game, we followed our scout really well. You know, you can't guard everything, so we had to go in there with the mentality that we'd give up a few things, and one of the things we were willing to give up was the outside shot. We were really worried about the ball screen and them getting that pull-up 12 to 15-foot shot, which several of them shoot extremely well. So that's something we worked really hard in trying to negate. And anytime they tried to post up on the block, we wanted to show 3 defenders all the time. And you know, so you got to give something up, and I think for long stretches of the game, we did what we wanted to do. You know, I know that Laura Cinto did the scout for this game, our associate head coach, and she did a great job breaking him down. You know, David Jalon, you know, works with our zone defense, so all credit to both of them. But you know, they're tough. It would have been difficult for us to go out and play our 5, our man-to-man, for an extended period of time. I didn't think we had the depth to be able to do that against that basketball team.
Coach, for the teams that are going to be facing Texas in this tournament, what would be your advice to those teams for playing against Texas or defending against them?
Yeah, well, you better have 2 or 3 different plans to advance the basketball. To get the ball in, right? You can't do the same thing every single time when they pick you up full court. So you have to have 2 or 3 different things in your bag of tricks to get the ball in. And you probably are going to want to share the responsibility of advancing the basketball, because you know, with us, I mean, if you've got 2 or 3 ball handlers, I think you need to share that responsibility, because if you allow Rory Harmon to be on the ball for 30, 40 minutes a game, that's a problem. And I think you also really got to make sure you do a great job blocking out. You really have to. And I think teams with size can kind of hang with those guys inside, but when they're clicking on all cylinders, I think they're a heck of a team, and you can see why they've won so many games in a row. I'll be really curious to see the Utah game. You know, I think that's going to be a really competitive game. You know, if Utah comes out and shoots the ball as well as they did. Utah's got to shoot the ball as well as they did today, and they got to take care of it. You know, and that's the thing. We turned it over 22 times tonight, and that's a lot more than we normally do. We're a very low turnover team. You know, I would attribute maybe 4 or 5 of those to just fatigue down the stretch a little bit, but a lot of that is just Texas playing really solid defense.
Do we have any further questions for Coach? If not, Coach, I want to thank you so much, and again, congratulations on all your achievements in your basketball coaching career. The best to you going forward.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you.